You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening and welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lepakshi Kurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Tuesday, the 23rd of October. Blast inside army base camp triggers fire in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistani Prime Minister seeks loans in Saudi Arabia to reservice debts investments. And 5 Indian fishermen apprehended by Sri Lankan Navy. And now for all the details. A blast triggered by a shell inside an army camp in Poonch district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Tuesday morning sent fire trucks rushing to the spot. A senior police official claimed the shell landed most probably from across Pakistan's side of the border. The fire was doused immediately and an investigation is underway.
A blast triggered by a shell inside an army camp in Poonch district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Tuesday morning sent fire trucks rushing to the spot. A senior police official said that the blast took place inside a store in the 93rd Brigade headquarters in the district and it started fire. The shell landed most probably from across the border, the official said, adding to an investigation was underway. The fire was doused immediately.
That there is a store inside the brigade. A shell has landed, most probably from across, and uski wajah se jo hai, because of the blast impact, the shell is quite little bit damaged. There was a fire and subsequent smoke. The parties have rushed to the spot, fire brigade and all. The fire has been doused, and our investigation is on.
The blast comes 2 days after 3 militants were killed in Kulgam district of the province. India accuses neighbouring Pakistan of regularly arming and infiltrating terrorists to mount attacks on Indian soil. Pakistan denies the allegations.
And in news from Pakistan, Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan on Tuesday told an investment conference in Saudi Arabia that Pakistan is seeking loans from the International Monetary Fund and friendly countries to reservice debt and to shore up its economy. Khan had earlier this month said that Pakistan needs 10 to 12 billion US dollars in order to repay loan installments.
Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan on Tuesday told an investment conference in Saudi Arabia that Pakistan is seeking loans from the International Monetary Fund or IMF and friendly countries to reservice debt and shore up its economy. The ex-cricketer had earlier said that Pakistan needs 10 to 12 billion US dollars in order to repay loan installments. Islamabad has already asked the IMF to open negotiations for the country's second potential bailout in 5 years.
We need to increase our exports because we have shortage of foreign reserves because of our current account deficit. We need to get more remittances through the banking channels because there are about 8 to 9 million Pakistanis who work abroad, who are living abroad. So we need to bolster our foreign exchange reserves.
Imran Khan, who arrived in Saudi Arabia on Monday, further said that Pakistan also needs 2 oil refineries to meet demand. He said they are talking to Saudi investors about the projects, adding Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is organizing a delegation of Saudi businessmen to invest in Pakistan. Pakistan's foreign reserves dropped by 627 million US dollars in late September to 8.4 billion US dollars, barely enough to cover sovereign debt payments.
Moving on, an anti-Pakistan protest was held on Monday by Kashmiri activists in London to mark Black Day. October 22nd is marked as Black Day as in 1947. On the same day, the Pakistan Army invaded the then princely state of Jammu and Kashmir. The protesters demanded freedom and raised slogans against Islamabad's illegal occupation of Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan.
Several Kashmiri activists on Monday staged a demonstration outside the Pakistan High Commission in London to mark October 22nd as Black Day. The protesters shouted pro-freedom and anti-Pakistan slogans to demand the Pakistani army and intelligence agencies to leave Pakistan-administered Kashmir, the region it illegally occupied on this day in 1947. They highlighted the issue of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings being committed by Pakistani forces on innocent people and activists who raised their voices against exploitation.
And we believe we are protesting against Pakistan because we think that is the day which caused the division of our state, our country, and that is the day when the ill planning was conceived to suppress our people and to victimize our people, and that was basically that is the beginning of the conspiracy which is still ongoing, which is still continuing.
हमारे सबसे पहले मुसलमान जम्मू कश्मीर के शहरी को कत्ल किया, उसके बाद हमारे हिंदुओं को कत्ल किया, हमारे सिखों को कत्ल किया, और बेशरम पाकिस्तानियों, कब तक तुम लोग कश्मीर में भी कत्लेआम करवाते रहोगे और हमें कहते रहोगे हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं, हम तुम्हारा यौम यकजहती मनाते हैं.
Activists have long raised concerns over the ill treatment of people belonging to Pakistan-administered Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. They blame the people of the illegally occupied region have been denied basic fundamental rights and are meted out with severe brutality for voicing their concerns.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security on Monday confirmed that the Kandahar provincial governor's bodyguard, who killed Police Chief General Abdul Razik, made a call before the attack to someone across the border. General Razik was killed last week when the bodyguard opened fire on a group of officials as they left a meeting.
Chief of Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security or NDS, Masoom Stenigzai, on Monday confirmed that Kandahar provincial governor's bodyguard, who killed Police Chief General Abdul Razik, made a call before they attacked someone across the border. Stenigzai said the bodyguard spoke on the phone with someone across the border for about 2.5 minutes, 5 minutes before the shooting. A popular figure in the country, Razik was killed last Thursday after the bodyguard opened fire on a group of officials as they left a meeting. General Scott Miller, the commander of US and NATO forces in Afghanistan, was also present at the meeting in the governor's office. He survived the attack. The attack came 2 days before the crucial parliamentary elections in the country, which took place last Saturday. The assassination of Razik, one of the country's most powerful security chiefs, forced the postponement of the election in Kandahar.
More news from Afghanistan. Political parties in Afghanistan have criticized the Independent Election Commission over what they called poor management. The parties on Monday also claimed that the recently held elections had been riddled with fraud.
A number of political parties on Monday criticized the Independent Election Commission or IEC over what they called poor management and said the elections had been riddled with fraud. The representatives of the parties said at a press conference in Kabul the poll body had systematically deprived a number of people from voting in different parts of the country. They also asked the Election Commission to discard votes from polling centers where biometric devices were not used.
شنیدیم که مسئولین کمیسیون انتخابات با بیشرمی و وقاحت تمام ادعا کردند که انتخابات با شفافیت برگزار شده. ما نمیدانیم که تعریف مسئولین محترم کمیسیون انتخابات از شفافیت چیست.
د شکایات کمیسیون نمونږ هم ګیله لرو چې هغه د دې کمیسیون یو متمم کمیسیون ده د دې په ځای باندې چې هغه یو مطبوعاتي کنفرانسونه راوغواړي د خلکو ذهنیتونه مغشوش کړي قانون ته باید مراجعه وکړي.
Last week on the election day, hundreds of polling centers failed to open and many others opened late in Afghanistan. There were also technical problems with the biometric devices. Because so many centers failed to open, the IEC extended elections by 1 day and opened over 200 of the 401 centers that had been closed on Saturday. Even then, many of these centers opened late. Voters in turn accused the poll body of poor management and claimed there had been numerous irregularities.
5 Indian fishermen were apprehended and a boat was seized by the Sri Lankan Navy on Tuesday for allegedly fishing in its waters. Fishermen from both the countries frequently stray into each other's territory and then end up spending years in jails.
At least 5 Indian fishermen belonging to India's southern Tamil Nadu province were apprehended by Sri Lankan Navy on Tuesday for allegedly fishing in its waters. The Sri Lankan Navy also seized a mechanized boat from the apprehended fishermen. Fishermen from both the countries frequently stray into each other's territory and then end up spending years in jails.
நாகப்பட்டினத்திலிருந்து மீன்பிடிக்க சென்ற ஒரு விசைப்படகையும் 5 மீனவர்களையும் இலங்கை கடற்படை கைது செஞ்சிருக்காங்க. அதேபோல பாக்சலசந்தி பகுதி குறிப்பாக ராமேஸ்வரத்திலிருந்து 450க்கும் மேற்பட்ட விசைப்படகுகள் மீன்பிடிக்க போனாங்க. அவங்களை எல்லாம் இலங்கை கடற்படை பாக்சலசந்தியில வைத்து அடித்து நொறுக்கி எல்லாத்தையும் விரட்டி விட்டாங்க. இன்றைக்கு மீன்பிடிக்க முடியாத ஒரு சூழல் என்பது இன்னைக்கு ராமேஸ்வரம் பகுதியில் பாக்சலசந்தி பகுதியில் நிலவுது.
India shares an expansive oceanic border with Sri Lanka without any perceptible demarcation, and fishermen on both sides ignore rules while netting their catch. Sri Lanka has long fumed over poaching and illegal fishing by the Indian fishermen that it says depletes the catch of its own fishermen.
The Tibetan government in exile on Monday organized a Chinese outreach forum and training program in India's northern hill town, Dharamshala, to educate the people about the Tibetan democracy and the middle way approach policy. The program was attended by Chinese nationals and Tibetan youth along with the exiled government's president.
The Tibetan government in exile on Monday organized a 4-day-long Chinese outreach forum and training program in India's northern hill town, Dharamshala. The event was aimed at educating the participants about Tibetan democracy and the middle way approach policy so that they can share the idea of Tibetan democracy with the Chinese people settled all over the world. The event was attended by Chinese nationals and Tibetan youth along with the exiled government's president, Lobsang Sangye.
Now, today we have all the Chinese liaison officers from 4 offices of Tibet, and we are training Chinese-speaking or Tibetan youth who will reach out to more Chinese public all over the world, so that we can share with them what is Tibetan democracy.
Originally, I'm Han Chinese, but I support His Holiness Dalai Lama's a middle way approach and support Tibetan freedom cause.
India is a home to almost 100,000 Tibetans. Exiled Tibetan spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, has been living in the country since fleeing a failed uprising against the Chinese rule of his homeland in 1959.
A musical festival was recently organized in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province to provide a platform to the budding artists of the valley to display their talent and learn from the renowned artists in the field of music and arts.
With an objective of providing a platform to budding artists of the Kashmir Valley, a musical festival was organized recently in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The event, Kashmir Festival, was organized by a musical group in collaboration with local sports authorities in which renowned singers, comedians, dancers and other artists from all over the country participated. The event aimed at exposing the local artists to the latest trends in the field of music and arts and to provide them with an opportunity to learn from the best in the business.
जितने भी आर्टिस्ट है कश्मीरी, बहुत सारे टैलेंट है कश्मीर में, बहुत सारा टैलेंट है, सब पूरा फैला हुआ है टैलेंट से. तो यहाँ सिर्फ कश्मीरी आर्टिस्ट नहीं कर रहे हैं परफॉर्म, यहाँ बाहर के भी हमने आर्टिस्ट मंगवाए जिनमें टैलेंट है, दे आर गुड एट समथिंग, सो वो यहाँ परफॉर्म करेंगे हमारे साथ. उनको भी लगेगा कि नहीं, कश्मीर में भी ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, सिर्फ वायलेंस क्रिएट नहीं होती है, यहाँ पर मतलब ये टैलेंट को नवाजा जाता है.
The event was witnessed by scores of music lovers hailing from all parts of province and outside. They appreciated the performances of local artists and hoped that such kind of events would be organized in future also.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.